When I first started fly fishing as a kid, I got a book that is called Trout Fishing by Joe Brooks. And it was one of the things that inspired me. So I thought it'd be fun to go and take a look at some of these old school flies and maybe put some modern twists on it. So the fly for today is an Irresistible, which was a fly that a fellow named Messenger Sr. created in the 1930s. He did a lot of stuff with deer hair, and the appeal to this thing is that the body is made of clipped deer hair, so it's going to float like a cork. It was a great kind of an attractor fly, and they also made him a little bit more natural like an Adams. So for today I'm going to make it like a green drake or maybe an olive. It's a neat fly, so here's how we tie it. This is the fly for today, and it's just kind of maybe a modern take on another one of the older flies that were in that book that I showed you, Trout Fishing by Joe Brooks. And it's an Irresistible, which was actually created by Joe Messenger Sr. sometime in the 1930s. Real high floating dry fly, really popular. We're going to make it in a little bit different color, and we're going to add a poly wing to make it more visible. So here's how we tie it. Okay, so here we go. Should be fairly easy. So we got a number 12 hook, but it's a black nickel dry fly hook that is barbless. So I'm kind of experimenting with some of these for the backcountry brook trout streams. So we'll give it a go on this. And the tail is moose body hair, so we'll get some of those. Dump them in the stacker quick. There's always one guy that doesn't want to cooperate. And get that in tight. Trim it. Get that all down. The only thing with the barbless hook is the shank is a little bit shorter, so even though this is a 12, it's going to be maybe a little closer to a number 14 in body size. So from here, I'm going to use olive. This might be like a big green drake or maybe a big olive or just a big attractor fly chugging down the stream. So we'll get that going. So I'm going to do the body first. Ordinarily on most dry flies you do the wing. Wing would be next, but I found on this particular pattern it's easier to go ahead and do that clipped deer hair body early on and then come back and do the wing. So we'll spin a bunch of deer hair around the hook. And I'm going to clip the long stuff just to make it a little easier. And we'll just pull that back, bring another clump in. Actually going to do it on the bottom. the longer stuff. Kind of pack it all back. And I'm probably going to need another bunch. A little bit bigger bunch. And go right about to there. Now, if you always wished you were a barber, this should cure that. Just kind of go around, trim up the body, and we got to get it in there tighter. I'm actually going to put my waste bin underneath this. And the fellow that did this, if he's the same guy I'm thinking of, Messenger, he created a really neat deer hair frog. So apparently he liked to make patterns with spun deer hair. I'm not such a fan, but this is a cool fly, so we'll give it a go. So get about the shape we want. Do the fine stuff. Okay. Now we're going to do the wing. We got yellow polywing, which I like. Makes it easier to see the fly. I mean, the original fly was kind of more of an Adam's color. And you get that almost light tan, whitish deer hair. And when you put that on the water, it ends up looking a lot like the bubbles in a typical Adirondack stream. So there's our wing. And we just got out our hackle. So we got a brown and a grizzly. Get them ready. Okay. Bring in the brown. A couple turns back here. And a turn or two in the front. That tied off. Trim that. And a couple turns of grizzly. And the big attraction, I think, to this was that deer hair body is going to make it float like a cork. And get some floating on that. It's not going anywhere. And we'll get that bound down. Trim that off. And we'll whip finish. Couple of hackle fibers that have got to go. And I'm going to tighten that body up a little bit. He needs to diet because he's got a big belly. And that's it. I found it a little tougher with the shorter hook, but it's nothing you can't get used to. And just kind of maybe a different look at an older style fly.